What's up? Am I coming in loud and clear? Law. What's up, Tori? How are you guys? Hell yeah. All right, I've got to get you guys get your input. I have to remember how I did this when I was getting Grant's audio for the podcast. Audio output capture.
It's also here, by
That's
the
what I
way.
needed.
This is true. She got bored.
How you guys been?
Hmm?
How have you guys been?
We've been pretty good. I mean, we
Right, right. There we go.
a lot of the same. It's been schoolwork. I've been working on. I make tabletop role playing games as a hobby,
Right, right.
so I've been doing a decent amount of that. Just in the background, I have a couple of projects released, which I'm I'm excited about. You know.
Super sick.
I think it's unknown price.
Okay, we should be good. Uh, I see Pat is in the chat. Patrick, can you let us know if you can hear everybody? And Josiah, do you want me to credit you as Josiah or Mega Joe or Morrigan or what in the stream title?
Um, y- Josiah slash Morrigan will work.
Whatever you prefer.
Yeah, I use both names, so whenever I work on a project, I try to put both names on there.
I respect that. Morrigan.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure everyone is properly credited and spelled correctly and whatnot. All right, cool, 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 cool. Fuck yeah. Oh, so Super Slam.
Yeah.
It's a set of Flesh and Blood cards that was made and will be released in about a week and a half.
I'm excited to go to my pre-release. Which reminds me that I need to call off work so I can go to my pre-release.
You should do that. I hear that that
I
is a
should.
good strat.
I think that's a thing I should do. Um,
I have my LGS is doing a double header, so like both pre-releases are on Sunday, so I just get to spend all day at a card shop, which is kind of how I like to spend my days.
yeah, that is pretty fun. I do like a good card shop.
Um, but we had spoke in the Discord, and kind of one of the reasons I wanted to bring you on tonight to talk was we had briefly spoke about sort of the design of Super Slam,
Yeah.
and as you said, you design games, and I find your game design insights to always be very interesting and well thought out. So I thought that we could
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
high praise.
I thought that we could chat a little bit about Super Slam specifically, and then sort of Fab's design in general. I know you have a Miss Vale rant that we'll get to as well.
It's less of a rant and more of just a take. I,
Okay.
I, I don't know if it's a rant. I do have plenty of rants. Let's make no mistake. You've seen me go off in the Discord server.
I have, and you could. The thing is, I can tell that there's always so much more. So this is your opportunity. Um, I'm going to platform you. I believe in platforming people who add value to the world. So I'm platforming you.
Yippee!
Do you want to start with a rant? Do you want to start with your Misfail take, or you want to hop into Super Slam?
I I'll start with my Mistvale take because I'm still working out my feelings on Super Slam. In
Perfect.
part because I'm still like internalizing the set, you know?
That's fair. I
Like
actually haven't looked at the full spoiler until this exact moment.
I've looked at it a couple of times. I think my takes on Super Slam are warmer than they were when we last talked, but not as warm as I want them to be. Is I think where I'm at, but that's a whole thing.
I honestly think that I'm going to wind up agreeing with you on that. But start me off with Misfail, because I know. So we had when we talked in the Discord, I had said that I actually really liked the design of Misfail, and I felt like Misfail was very well designed. And you disagreed with me, and I was surprised by that.
So a lot of my critiques have to do with Mystic as a talent.
Okay.
But broadly, I do not think Mistvale is a very good set for a couple of reasons. It has some flaws from the get go, and I think one of the obvious ones that's like not really contestable, but more of just like a thing that we know happened
Right.
is uh, the power level was not great.
Power level was
uh,
too high. I will agree with you on that.
and I mean, I have my own theory on that, which
Mm-hmm.
is that since it was like the premiering set for Japan, they wanted to juice it a little bit.
I do. I think that that's definitely a part of it.
I would be a little surprised if it's not, but I think
They definitely at best, or at least, I guess would be more appropriate. They wanted it to be a impactful, playable set.
they did. So a
They
little
succeeded.
peek. Yeah, so a little
Mm-hmm.
interesting peek of the under the hood because I have read every article about development from LSS that I can find
Okay.
because the development of the game and games in general
Mm-hmm.
is so much fun for me just to learn about and read about.
Right.
And the thing that I find interesting about LSS's design is that they give each set like an internal power level that they try to build the set towards,
Okay.
and they put Mistvale as their highest that can still be healthy for the game. And I don't know if that's true that it was the game, to be honest with you. And
uh,
um,
I I think that I don't. It's hard to like what I think that it definitely introduced a lot of problematic mechanics, 100%.
for sure,
And I think that when we go back to Mistvale, um, when we go back to Mistvale, new Mistvale will 100% like either have to be completely different in terms of design, or it will it will definitely be designed with old Mistvale in mind, and will have like the brakes on it. But I think that there's a real risk of like that set being defined by cards from the first set,
for sure.
like especially
Um,
like levels of enlightenment, traverse the universe. These cards are just like bonkers levels of power.
Yeah, and I love what you're saying about that because you're kind of getting into a thing I want to talk about
All right.
with Mystic as a talent, which is that I don't think Mystic is very good as a talent. I think that's my main gripe with Mistvale because I could talk about new and the assassin. The direction Assassin's going in, but that's a discussion I've had, and I could spend too much time on, frankly. So I'm instead going to focus on Mystic as a talent.
Okay.
So I'm going to open with a question of what do you think makes a good talent?
Oh, that's a great question. I think that I think that what it's a really good question. I think that what makes a good talent is more one. Most importantly, I feel like talents have to be distinct from classes.
100%, yeah.
Um,
Which is part of
yeah,
why I don't think pirate is very good as a class in its current iteration, but
and I would agree
that's
with you on that. Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah. So first and foremost, talent. A good talent feels fundamentally different from being a class, and so I guess that
100%.
means that it is whatever the core mechanic of that talent is, whatever it cares about, is something that is agnostic to classes.
Yes.
And
Or
that's,
or maybe
yeah.
maybe more interestingly is that even if the core thing isn't agnostic to classes, but that classes care about it in different ways, because like
I could
I,
also, yeah.
yeah.
Like you could also approach
So
it from that direction, but uh so it's either its core mechanic is something that classes can all interact with in a different way that still unifies it as like this is Earth or whatever, or it is something that like uh is like a mechanic of the game that every class can't like for example, so like we have Draconic, right?
yeah,
And like Draconic's identity is it's red line, lots of chain links, and and obviously like aesthetics are a thing here, but I'm kind of ignoring aesthetics in favor of design. But like it's red line, lots of chain links, very low pitch, or somehow like there's like a thing about like pitching, like generating more resources from your pitch in like a kind of a roundabout way.
yeah.
And all of that, and like it's sort of like it's aesthetic themes of like fire and
Eruption and like
yeah,
brotherhood and loyalty,
exactly,
which is huge.
exactly,
And
and
and that's kind of a thing I think about a lot is
mhm,
how does the mechanical aspect and the themes and ideas tie in, because a
right,
game isn't just the mechanical side of how it plays,
right,
it's also how it feels to play. And that's, I
right,
think, sort of the biggest sin, give it a cinema sins ding, of
mm-hmm,
Mystic as a talent. I don't think these heroes feel mystic in the same way that like
mm-hmm,
a draconic hero feels draconic or a light hero feels light. It
mm-hmm,
feels like the class just had a couple of blues slapped on it and not much fundamentally changed.
right. Okay, so to real quick, so my point about like Draconic that I wanted to make is Draconic with like its sort of identity works really well for most of the heroes that have that talent.
Yeah,
But like Draconic Guardian does not necessarily like work with the mechanics that Draconic has.
absolutely not. No.
Um, and so in that respect, like I think that Mystic and I've got it pulled up on my screen, but these like the transcend cards I think form like a pretty good um sort of like foundation for like Mystic as like an identity. And like the idea that like you like Mystic is the blue matters talent, and it's very like tied up in um it's tied up in like these themes of like transcendence and like opening your third eye and everything. And that like I could see a version of every class in the game that does that.
I don't think you're wrong. I think
Mm-hmm.
Mystic has really good groundwork, and I don't think they execute. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and sort of the thing I keep coming to whenever I try to like think about that is do what makes Mystic unique,
Right.
because I don't think Mystic affects its heroes in the same way that like other talents do. So like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for example, I pulled up like the first Prism deck list that won a tournament,
Okay.
As a light hero, she has like 42 yellows in her deck.
Hmm.
Um, like that's a massive like defining amount. Whereas like if I do the same thing for like let's just go pull up the first like Zen tournament deck list,
Hmm.
and it's like 30, and that is half of the deck, which is more than a lot of heroes are on.
Right.
But it feels less impactful in a way that to me doesn't feel good. Uh,
Right. So when you say impactful, do you mean from sort of like a mechanical like identity perspective, or from just like an actual gameplay? Because I think that one things that makes Mystic like a bonkers talent is like in Flesh and Blood, like fundamentally it's like really good if you have blues that you also want to play. And I think
yeah,
that that's one of the things that made Mystic so powerful, was that you could play 40 blues in like Enigma or 30 blues in Zen in your aggro deck, and like you still wanted to play all of your cards.
yeah, for sure. And I think I don't think you're wrong that that made it impactful uh, in gameplay,
Right.
but it doesn't make it feel unique, if that makes sense. Like I'm
Okay.
a very strong proponent that like that a talented hero should feel significantly different from a non-talented hero.
Right.
I don't think that Zen feels like significantly different than say like Tiger Katsu. Like they
Mm-hmm.
feel like just different colors of the same hero, and I don't think Mystic is changing that much. And
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the big issues I have with it. I don't know how you feel about that,
Um,
but
I do think that so like Zen is like an interesting pullout, because like Zen's hero ability is just strictly better Katsu,
yeah.
and I do think that
Oh,
yeah, his identity as a hero is absolutely hurt by just doing what Katsu does, but so much better than Katsu could ever do it. And I totally agree with you from that perspective. Like Zen's identity, I do think of like when I think of Zen, I do think of like Zen and Tigers.
yeah.
But like what he is doing is like so is just a better version of Katsu, to the extent that like gameplay wise, I when I go play Katsu, I'm just looking for the high that I had when I played Zen. So
Yeah, and
yeah.
like
So I agree with
it
you on that. Yeah.
yeah, and like in a similar vein, new like when she released, like a lot of the Arachne mains I knew were like, well, there's no reason to play Arachne anymore because she's
Mm-hmm.
just doing the thing we do but better. And like
Mm-hmm.
Enigma is in some ways like just a better Prism. Mystic doesn't feel like it changes a hero. It feels like it just makes them better. And
Okay.
that's I
Yeah.
don't think that's good. I think that if you're gonna make a Mystic hero, you need to make something that is substantially different.
I okay. I see where you're coming from, and I agree. Yeah, it's just you slap, and I think that part of that too is because is like kind of inherent to it being the blue talent, right? Is like all three of the Mystic heroes, they all block very well. They can all put
Yep.
out pretty good offense. Maybe not
Yeah.
like news damage might be a little bit low, but like there's so much disruption.
She also has just a nick, so
Yeah, true. She her offensive output is not as high as like Zen is, but like it's still there. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I think part of that is because it's the blue talent. Like decks that play lots of blues are just fundamentally better, and
Yep.
Mystic giving you, you have 9 transcend cards per hero that you want to play. So it's like, well, here's 9 blues, like just out of the
Yeah.
box. Um,
Yeah, and
yeah.
one thing I'd love to see when they come back to Mystic is to really lean into the Blues Matter talent. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is a controversial take. I fully think that make even attempting to make Mystic capable of having an aggro hero is a failure because I think if you're gonna make a blues matter talent, you need to lean into like why do blues matter?
Right.
Like Draconic is the reds matter talent.
Right.
I think if the I don't think it's good to have like, oh yeah, a longer game Draconic here. I think no, like we're doing red. It's like maximum value. Let's go damage.
Right.
And I think if we're talking about the blues matter talent, we should think about it in the same way.
Mm.
The identity of Mystic is blues matter, and it's also like secrets and like power out of nowhere, like
Mm.
that idea of things that are hidden being revealed. And I think that's a really interesting design space to play around in.
Right.
And I don't feel like they played around in it. I feel like they just went, oh yeah, blue cards that you can pitch and play at the same time.
Right.
Uh, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about it that I'm struggling to put into words.
Right.
I hope it's at least kind of making sense.
Yeah, yeah, it's making sense. I do think so. I'm looking through the spoiler now, and I think that kind of what they were trying to do with that aspect of the talent is like across like the heroes. So you have like all of the cards that care about how many blues you pitched, or if you pitched a chi, or if you transcended. You have all of the instant speed cards, which I think is another reason why Mystic is like kind of busted. Is like I think that I can't decide if I like. This is a separate topic. We don't need to get on this tangent too far because we'll talk about when we get to Super Slam. But I can't decide if I like how much they're leaning into instants as a design space. Because I think that the heroes that get to play at instant speed are again fundamentally stronger than the heroes that don't.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll get into that. We'll get
yeah,
into that because I also have thoughts on that.
yeah, and I know that I remember there's an interview with Gottlieb where he's basically like, well, the difference between a Mystic Ninja and a non-Mystic Ninja is that a Mystic Ninja makes the tigers are made in hand, and you get to keep them and do things with them, and a non-Mystic
Yeah,
Ninja only gets them in the banish zone. Um, which I don't
yeah,
hate that. I don't hate that
that,
as like a
that's not.
delineation.
I know what you're talking about, or I know another place where I talked about
Mm.
this one in the video, but they briefly discussed what makes Mystic Heroes unique
Hmm.
in each of the like little regions, whatnot,
Right.
where they bring up like here's how we expect you to play this hero.
Right.
Uh, so it, so it's like yeah, what makes Mystic Heroes unique? Well, they get this in hand, and that's a fun design space, but it's also kind of rough because
Hmm.
that's such a minor form of expression in a weird way. Like, yeah, you can spread it throughout turns. That's
Hmm.
cool. I think that becomes a non-point if we're making a blue line aggro hero who can output some of the best damage in the game.
And I played I played a fair bit of Zen, so I will say that obviously like the when Zen was the all gas no brakes aggro deck, that was fueled entirely by Art of War and Bonds.
Yeah,
Um, but at the same time, after he lost those cards and people retooled the deck, you just became like you became an like your average turn value was so insane because you could still get 4 or 5 chain links and you were doing like 17 to 20 damage turns every turn,
yep,
and also blocking,
yeah,
like, and just like being able, like, at a certain point just every turn was activate Zen, go get chase the tail or aspect body, whichever one I needed, go get that, swing Kakara, swing Tiger, 7 off of my 2 card combo, like that's 10
yep,
damage. And it was just
one hundred
like,
percent.
and I was blocking, and like if I needed to, like I could still just do like 2 card sixes or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just like crazy, and like I had like 14 sideboard slots, so I was good into everything. I kind of miss it now that I'm talking about it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like one thing I genuinely hope they do
Hmm.
when they bring Mystic back, because it's not a question of if. It's well, it might be a question of if with the direction the game is going in, but you know,
Yeah.
We-
Hopefully we make
but
it. Hopefully we make it back to Misfail.
hopefully when they bring it back, I really hope they ban Traverse the Universe
I
because that I
yeah yeah
because I think the thing is that that really provides some just like oh worst case scenario you get a blue best case scenario congrats you've bypassed your entire pitch stack and now just get access to your strongest
right
abilities in the game.
yeah. You just and like I think Traverse is really cool like as a design because I do think it
Yeah,
enable like I do like the play pattern that is that old like Flesh and Blood fundamental of like I save my armor for my pivot turn and then I block with
100%.
yeah, and then I block with my armor, and then I get back in the game. And Traverse is like the epitome of that.
Yes.
But it is like too good, and they have said that it should have blocked for either 0 or 1, which
Yeah.
I think that I think that they have done a lot of a lot of autopsies on Misfail.
Oh, you have to. I mean, it was one of the worst player experiences if you weren't playing with the Mystic heroes.
uh,
And even if you were with how fast they LL'd, like
um, I so that's the other thing too is like, do we think that this set LL too fast?
I think it would have.
I think it didn't. I think it was around for the perfect window of time for a set that was as
Yeah.
powerful as it was.
Oh, very fair. I I was annoyed to see New around for so long.
Yeah, and they did all make their exit very close together. They all
Yeah,
um
I don't know. The living legend system is interesting. I wish LSS also thought it was interesting the way
I
I did.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I think that they need to stop messing with it.
Yeah,
I think that I hate this multiplier. I don't think that it's
same.
going to I think that this multiplier only really punishes people whose heroes finally get good.
Yeah. That's the thing is that the problem is the way they want the LL system to work and the way they're
Mhm.
handling bans are not possible to go together
Yeah.
because they want LL to be their own like special version of rotation
Right.
and not a balancing measure.
Right.
But the problem with that is that it becomes a balancing measure when you release like the new most powerful hero in the game every set.
Right.
Like I think LSS is hitting a design problem, and I'm sure they've talked about this and are trying to figure out what to do about it if they haven't already, since it takes like 2 years from the sign to be like
Right.
start development to release date.
Right.
So I'm sure they've probably talked about it of when you release a set and
Mhm.
you make sure that there's at least one hero who is going to be like quote unquote meta relevant. The
Right.
problem is that the easiest way to do that is to make the new most powerful hero in the game.
Right. Exactly. Which is what arguably happened with Gravy recently.
Yeah,
Um.
because
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, Gravy is just like, oh, like Dromire, an ally deck, but without Phantasm.
Yeah. I was talking to a friend at my LGS about this recently. I am going to be really interested to see the next Necromancer we get because
I would too.
um my So Watery Grave is very pirate coded.
Yeah.
I will be interested to see what the next Necromancer's allies, what that design space looks like, or if they have a similar restriction, or how or whatnot. You know, like, because
Yeah.
like I think that Gravy learned, like, one of the lessons I think that they learned about they learned from Dromai that they have applied to Gravy is that you can't just stick a static source of action points on the board for these ally-based heroes.
Yup.
And like they gave Gravy like a ton of ways to get extra action points, but you do have to jump through hoops to get them. My dog is freaking out because he hears me talking and he wants to play.
He's so real for that.
He really
My
is.
dog
He's a
is
boy.
laying in her dog bed, wanting me to shut the fuck up.
Aw, poor thing. But yeah, and like I think that even though like Gravy, I don't think that Gravy was too good even before the Tipple ban.
I don't think Gravy is too good. I think that a lot of decks in the game don't have tools to deal with Gravy, and I think that's a bad thing.
That I agree with. That I agree with, because like he forces, if you don't have the action points to clear the allies, he forces you to, your game plan has to either be block him out or kill him.
Yeah, this has been like a hot topic of debate in the server a few times, but I'm of the firm belief that there should never be an unwinnable matchup in Flesh and Blood, because like this is the game where like its biggest draw is that it is supremely skill based, as I think Jeff once put it, which is that like it's a game where your skill expression is the highest mark of your like ability as a player. I don't think we should be designing the game with the idea of like, oh yeah, certain heroes are just unbeatable if you're playing a different hero. Like I don't think that's good for the game's identity or health.
I'll add one caveat to that, and that is, I think that, and this is a really fine line that you have to walk with design, but I think that they can do it. There should not be any such thing as an unwinnable matchup in this game if you are prepared for that matchup. Like if you are going to a pro quest and you decide that like I have 10 sideboard slots, I don't think Kano is going to show up. If I play against Kano, it's a 10% win rate for me. That I think is fine. But if you're like, if you're like, I'm going to respect Kano and I have these sideboard slots, that should be like, you shouldn't ever feel like there's no point in preparing for a matchup that you expect to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My belief isn't like, oh, every hero should be able to deal with every other hero at base. It's every hero should have the tools to deal with every other hero. That means you need to put those tools in your deck, and with a limited number of slots, you have to make decisions about what you expect to see. I think that's good for the game. That's how metagames become really interesting, because you then have to think, okay, what do I expect to see versus what don't I?
Right.
And that's a much more interesting game than, well, which hero am I not bringing because I just can't play them right now?
Right.
Like that.
Right.
Like, I'm still on Uzuri right now because I love her, but she's also one of the worst heroes in the game right now. I think she has like a 35% win rate on Talishar right now.
Let's go look at Fab Blazing. It's not great. And I do think too that when we talk about unwinnable matchups, I do kind of want to maybe play devil's advocate just a hair by saying I actually think that right now there are outliers where like matchups are unwinnable, but I actually think that if you, I've been thinking a lot about like heuristics and sort of like macro level like gameplay decisions, because I've been playing like a lot of Florian, and like Florian has some matchups that are unwinnable from turn 0 if you do not have a specific plan that you are trying to execute.
Yeah.
And part of the skill level of the game is understanding like I'm playing into a Verdance. The Verdance flipped up Surgent Aethertide instead of Waning Moon, right?
Yeah.
That means that this matchup is going to boil down to like this specific like interaction where maybe I have to hold Deny Redemption once I get it in my hand, or something like that.
Yeah, like you've seen my deck. I play Contract Uzuri because I love the fatigue game. It's my favorite thing about Flesh and Blood by far.
Right.
And so that's a thing I have to think about a lot of. Oh God, I'm playing against this hero. What strategies do I need to know going into this, and how do I pivot if things don't go the way I expect them to?
Right. How do you feel about? Sorry, I'm totally like shifting gears here a little bit, but like, how do you feel
That's
about when it comes to fatigue? How do you feel about one Arachne now having this like 1 card banish 4 cards defense reaction?
Tori just locked in next to me,
I did just lock in.
so he's probably gonna give his take after I give mine.
I think this card is bonkers busto, and I love it for the guy. I hate being milled though. That's my opinion.
I don't. I'm sort of at this interesting point where I don't think that like Bonds of Agony effects, no matter what they are good for the game.
Mm-hmm.
But if anyone's going to have it right now, I want it to be the least powerful assassin. I think I want Hunter Hunted ? To get banned eventually.
Right.
But for now, I'm okay with it because taking 3 or 4 cards sucks, especially if it's like Acilio and they take all your Gone in a Flashes. Cool, you've lost the game already, and there's not a lot you can do about that.
You just kill them. You just kill them.
Yeah.
It's what I've learned from playing the matchup. Because I did have all my Gone in a Flashes taken by a Hunter or Hunted, and you just do nutty Volzar amps. But you have to understand at that point, like, I just lost all my Gone in a Flashes. How do I kill them?
I'm playing a different game now.
Yeah, exactly. I think that I'm actually fine with Hunter or Hunted because like it only ever gets the card that's on top of your deck, and sometimes that card doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a card
that's why I'm certainly more fun with it for now. I think it might become problematic at some point when there's more heroes in the game that care about contract, because just Cut to the Chase lets you see the top card of your opponent's deck. So if you play Cut to the Chase and then like end turn and then play Hunter or Hunted, then you can get it off. But for now, I don't care. For now, it's fine. Go for it.
You always get it. Always goes off because you play it and the Huntsman trigger happens.
In Arachne, yes, I'm saying for the future contract heroes.
I see.
If they remain new contract heroes.
Yeah.
I'm
saying I see the card becoming problematic in the future, but for now, let it rest. Like, Arachne needs it.
I agree. I think it's fine. But I think what's more egregious is actually, and we can start pivoting towards Super Slam and Guardian and whatnot. So Mastery Pack Guardian came out, and we have this now, like, Guardian. Guardian is now the mill class.
I'm putting together a mill Volta.
I think that Peck Perfect might be my least favorite card in the game right now.
I think it is one of my most favorite cards in the game.
I really hate it. And I really don't like Test of Iron Grip.
Me
But
neither.
I'm more fine with it. I hate Peck Perfect.
I'm more fine with it, but I'm more fine with it, and I like it less.
What I don't like about Peck Perfect is that it is an unconditional, like, when a card defends. You can't block it with equipment. You can't block it with D-reacts. You can't block it with block cards. I don't like that. And yeah, that along with Test of Iron Grip and Miller's Grindstone and all these other cards, I just think that, like, Leave a Dent, I don't like it because it takes away, I think it takes away so much agency of, like, we talk about the game being like a knowledge check of playing this hero versus this other hero, and I know that, like, the cards that are going to win me the game is, like, card A, B, and C in this specific sequence. And cards like Peck Perfect and all these other mill cards completely deny you the ability to do that.
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. I'm more willing to overlook it because I like fatigue, and I'm aware of this.
I don't mind fatigue. I just think that proactive fatigue is not my favorite, like, design space in this game.
I honestly really like it. I like it more than just, like, health gain and throw all the defensive tools you can into a deck. Like, that's not fun or interesting in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I think the kind of fatigue where you need to, like, have tempo and be able to keep it is interesting. And I think the cards in Mastery Pack Guardian might be going a bit too far in that it seems like you don't need to have as much tempo for it.
Right.
But I still think they're interesting. Fatigue is at its core like a struggle of it's if we talk about the fighting game theory of Flesh and Blood, fucking
right.
I don't know if that's a thing that anyone talks about anymore. Active fatigue decks are a type of zoner. You have to play around them in a way. Some decks just can't, and that leads to the thing of, like, we need more tools to counter specific things.
Right.
I don't know. I think fatigue is a game-defining strategy in that if you're going against a fatigue deck, you need to figure that out and try to figure out what your game plan is going to be.
Right. I think that if they want this sort of mill to be in the game, I want Drone of Brutality back.
I don't think Drone of Brutality, but I do think, like, more recursion tools would be good. I think recursion tools are not only really helpful anti-fatigue tools, they're also a really fun method of fatigue.
I guess the answer is just to play Remembrance, but still. The answer is always just to play Remembrance. I'm actually to the point where I think that, like, because it happens so often, like, we will get these formats where it's just correct to run, like, some number of Remembrance, and I think that every time that we get in that situation, I think that Remembrance is actually the sign that the format is unhealthy.
Fair. I should buy a Remembrance. Every time I think about Remembrance, I'm like, I should get one of those, and then I never do.
I would highly recommend it.
I want to, and I would get my money's worth out of it because of the decks I play.
It's good card. It's good card.
Did the guides tell you that I made a fatigue dash? Like, I made a fatigue Dio as a bit.
That sounds terrible. I hate that.
It's absolutely atrocious. I'm sending it to you because I want to inflict it on you.
Oh god. Maybe I'll run it at my next armory. It
You
sounds
should.
very cursed.
It's really not good, but it's funny.
It sounds super cursed. I might play this on stream. TBH.
The sort of the point of it is that you can use the boost cards to push extra damage if you need to, but otherwise you block, swing one attack per turn, and then just kind of essentially what this is I crammed each and every single recursion tool in the entire mechanologist
Yeah.
thing that I thought was worthwhile in one deck, and this is the product of that.
I love it. I love it. I'm definitely gonna play this on stream. This is cursed. But
You shouldn't, but thank you.
do we want to move into sort of the main event of the evening? Our WWE.
I would love to.
Yeah. So Super Slam, our WWE set, our pro wrestling set.
Yeah.
How do we feel about it?
I am still kind of conflicted. I'm more happy about Revered and Reviled than I was when we last spoke,
Right.
albeit only by a little bit.
Okay.
They have interesting starts of ideas. I like. I don't know how to feel about the brute cards. I'm still working that out in my head. The Guardian cards, I think, are gonna be the hot topic of debate.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start on Revered because it's the first thing in the set. So
Sure. Yeah.
simple enough. When Revered first dropped, I wasn't like a huge fan. I'm the kind of person who tries to be like cautiously optimistic about it, like whatever happens, but I was just like, I don't know about that one. I'm not sure about it. And the longer it's gone on, the longer I honestly kind of like the design language of Revered as sort of this like trying to play through the long game style thing. Like the card that really made me start being like, okay, I kind of like this is the February spoiler, a good clean fight.
Yeah, I have to find that one. Give me 1 second. Yeah. First of all, this is one of the few Revered arts that I like.
Yeah.
But this card's really cool.
Yeah. It's fun. In every set, there's like one card that makes me go, this is the kind of card I could build an entire deck around. Just the premise of
right.
And a good clean fight has made me go, maybe I could build a Revered hero.
I think that Revered and Reviled. I have to read what toughness does real quick. Okay.
Toughness gives +1 to your
the next
first
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the first action card you defend with on your opponent's turn.
So talking about Revered, I think that I like the idea of like playing from behind.
Yeah.
Like the underdog sort of
everyone
mechanic.
loves him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. And I do like, for both Revered and Reviled, the idea of the crowd either cheering you or booing you. That feels very... Like, that is a really good sort of Ludo narrative. Like, it's a show match.
100%.
So I think that is a hit. And I think that... And they have played around with this sort of underdog mechanic before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like Wounded Bull and everything. Like this whole set is just like a set of Wounded Bulls.
Rush is another one, I think.
There's Wounded Bull. There's Fiendal's Fighting Spirit, Scar for a Scar. There's a couple.
Adrenaline
others.
Rush, Scar for a Scar, Life for a Life, Blow for a Blow. Like
right.
It's interesting, and I also like it. I also like this is like more on like a large scale level.
Mhm.
I really like the way that Revered and Reviled contrast each other,
Right.
with Revered having a lot of defensive tools and like their main token being toughness, which is like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, it's toughness. It increases how much you block for, and Reviled's main token being might, which obviously
Right.
increases how much damage you deal.
Right.
I think that's a really fun contrast, and I
Mhm.
like having these hero types stand sort of in opposition to each other. I think that's interesting.
Right. I agree, and I like the I like how much sort of, I don't even know what the word would be, like maybe like modality that is on like all the cards in this set of caring about life totals, cares about how many tokens you control. Are you attacking a revered or reviled hero? Is it
Yeah.
defending? Is it attacking? There's cards where you can like pay additional costs into it. All of that I think is really good design space that I would like to open up into the game, like as a whole.
Yeah, I think my biggest complaints with Revered and Reviled is that I want the rest of the game to be like
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
I like this space we're in. I I like, oh, when this defends, when this attacks. These are all really interesting concepts.
Right. Uh,
I
mhm.
I want to see more of them.
Yeah, I agree. Like, why? So yeah. Also, that is also kind of my bone to pick with this set is as cool as all this revered and reviled stuff is. I I don't know if they needed to be talents. I don't know if we needed to use talent space on this.
I I don't think they needed to be, to be honest. I
I think that
what
revered and reviled just could have been tags in the text box.
yeah. What's pissing me off is that t- talents in Flesh and Blood are like a very specific thing where like
Right.
no, not to be a lore nerd as I'm known to be from time to time, but talents are things specific to a region, and more than specific to a region, are specific to a particular like Aesir.
Right.
Uh, and what's pissing me off is the thing that's been pissing me off since the set
Mhm.
was revealed. I should probably ask. I am allowed to swear, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
YouTube knows that I'm not making shit for kids.
Bet. I realized I've been swearing a lot. I was like, that's probably something I should have asked about.
I
The
don't
thing
care.
that's yeah, the thing that's like is pissing me off about the set and pissed me off since it was announced a little bit is like,
Mhm.
where's a Savage Land set? Like, come on,
Right.
guys, because there's like an entire tribe of people who are like talented like warriors and shit of Fyendal living in the Savage Lands,
Right.
and that's been touched on like two or three times and never talked about again.
Right. Yeah. It's like a I don't know. I don't know what their weird. They have such a weird hang up about the Savage Lands and Brute, and
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I don't either, and it really annoys me.
Which is like I guess like the crux of this, the crux of like everyone's sort of questions or criticism or whatever about this set is like we don't really know what they're thinking when it comes to Brute and Guardian specifically. I think that those two
Yeah.
classes the most feel so ignored, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at like heroes who have done well
Mm.
in LL, brutes aren't doing great, and
Yeah,
the only time they really have in my recent memory is KO for like a couple of months, and then he just kind of he
yeah.
just stalled because people learned how to play around him.
Well, KO was doing really well. KO and the rest of heavy hitters got power crept immediately by Mistveil.
Yeah,
Um, and that's just like, and the game has basically just moved on from them. Well,
yeah,
uh, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Brute has never been aside from KO's maybe 3 or 4 month run, Brute has never been a meta defining class.
Yeah.
And like Guardian, obviously Oldhim was very, very good.
Victor has had his moments.
Victor was like a solid competitor in the heavy hitters metagame. And then there was
Bravo jumps every once in a while.
Bravo briefly was like a really good deck, sort of between what was it? And sort of Bright Lights meta after Lexi and Icelander left. Bravo was like a very good numbers deck, but I also think that was. I think that because Hamilton won 2 or 3 events with like basically Tunic, Pummel, Bravo.
Yeah.
Just off the back of like, I think that the player base hadn't quite caught on to how good Tunic Pummel was.
No.
Yeah. But
and now they have, so
yeah, and like that's part of it is the player base improved beyond I think what Bravo was capable of doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they just, and that's kind of where I'm at with this set is I think that a lot of the stuff in this set is cool and whatnot, but I think that the cool stuff that is reviled or revered now being siloed into those 2 tags, I would like just make these Brute and Guardian traits.
Yeah, I mean, I think even above that, make those like ideas that heroes can play with. I mean, like some of the like defensive tools in this set, I would love to play with. Like, I would love to play with a good clean fight in any hero.
Yeah.
Or like escalate order. Like, never give up is so goofy, and I love it. It's. I don't think it's worth playing, but it's fun.
And it's so it's so evocative. It gets the people going.
It really does. Like, I don't think a lot of these needed to be talented. And this is sort of going into that thing of LSS is, in this stage of the game, constantly chasing the next big thing, and I think that's a massive problem. Not just for the long term, but also just for the short term.
I've been saying to anybody who would listen that I think the biggest thing that's like really threatening sort of the viability and the longevity of the game is there's so much bloat and so many things are siloed to one hero or one talent.
Yeah, Have you heard of the problem of superheroes in empty worlds?
I feel like I have, but elaborate.
So this is like a simplified version of a thing that what took an hour to explain to me, so I might not do a great job. But the short version is that, like in a lot of like superhero media right now, the world feels very empty, and it sort of begs the question of like, hey, there's all these great heroes with like self-contained storylines. Where are they when the rest of the thing is going on? It's like, okay, we have this world that is more full than ever, but because we're not spending time with it, because everything feels so self-contained, it feels more empty than it ever has.
Yeah, I think that's a really excellent summation of how Flesh and Blood feels right now. Yeah,
like there are so many new ideas being put in every set. Like just opening up like the set list, we have Super Slam with like Revered and Reviled and like Auras of Suspense and this new like Guardian idea of like, or not Guardian, this new Brute idea of like, oh hey, look at this Brute cards that like care about being buffed to 6 power and care about if you've boosted a 6 power card this turn.
Right.
And then we have like, oh hey, Mastery Pack Guardian. Hey, let's add a bunch of new like mill and fatigue tools for Guardian. That leads to their like defensive aspects. Oh hey, High Seas. Let's add Pirate and Necromancer as like new talents and make harpoons and make cogs. And that's all interesting.
Let's make harpoons. There are 3 harpoons.
No, now. There's 7, one of which is Rusty Harpoon, and one of which is Goldfin Harpoon.
Oh, how dare I forget about Rusty Harpoon?
how could you?
How dare I? I'm a fake fan.
Hunted, I don't like Hunted because I'm annoyed at what I wanted it to be, but
Right.
like it really expanded on the ideas of Draconic, which I was a huge fan of,
Right.
and then it added Chaos, which is just kind of there.
I don't.
But-
I personally don't really hate that Chaos is just there, because
The reason
it's the right amount of just there to me.
you're not wrong. The reason I'm like, no, give me more is because the force behind Chaos is the Cult L'Apocalypto, which is the people behind genuinely actually almost each and every single plot line in Flesh and Blood. Like they're the big bad evil guys of the entire game.
Right. Right.
So I'm like, no. They also added like Marked, which is like, okay, that's a new idea. Like,
Right.
okay. And then we have Rosetta, which is like the last time I feel like they really went and expanded in a new idea, other than like
Right.
Draconic kind of, but that also introduced a lot of new things. Like
Right. Well,
Rosetta,
Yeah. Yeah.
Rosetta feels very old in a way that I think is good.
I agree. I 100% agree. Like Rosetta feels like such a perfect continuation of Aria.
Yeah.
And like an expand like I feel like we had and like I feel like the new mechanics that were introduced in Rosetta, there was enough
It
of
felt
them
like
to-
expansions of old ones.
they did, and it felt like a real like it felt like there were enough of them to matter.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, with Hunted, yes, there are a bunch of new Draconic cards, but I don't have the set list pulled up, and I'm not going to count actual, but I would say over half of those cards are, like, they're Daggers Matters cards, which basically means that they're Fang and Syndra cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't affect, like, the fact that Fi got an entire new set and, like, I think Fi probably got 15 to 20 new cards to put in his deck, and it didn't move
Something
his
like that.
yeah, it didn't move his needle at all. Because you just took out all of the bad head jabs you used to have to play, and you put in all of the good, or not even good. You put in all of like the normal head jabs that you got from Hunted.
It's actually interesting because none of the base Draconic cards care about daggers. That it's all like Draconic Warrior, Draconic Ninja. That's
Right.
like a side tangent, but
Yeah. And that's another thing too. I would like to see fewer talent class combination cards. You know, like I just would like to see fewer of those. If we have to, like, we can make stuff specializations. But I wish that cards were either, you know, they were either a talent or a class or generic.
one thing that upsets me is so first of all, I'm okay with things being a mix of them when I feel it properly enhances them, which is fully and completely subjective, and I recognize this.
Right.
But
Well, like
one
go
thing
ahead,
that's
finish
been one thing that's been bothering me, and I'm gonna say it, and you're gonna go, "Hey, wait a minute, that is kind of fucked up." The last set we got actual specializations in with Rosetta.
Right.
Like, and that's kind of weird. It feels strange since specializations have long been like a way that heroes are set apart.
Right. Did
It's
we
like,
not
well-
have specialization? I feel like we had specializations in Hunted. I'm probably wrong though.
No, there are cards with the heroes on them, and they're not specializations other than Arachne's Mask.
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking of the legendary cards,
Yep.
and those are not specializations. That's dumb,
They're not.
dude. That's so dumb.
Just like you ready for it? This is also true about Mistveil. None of the sacred arts are specializations.
Also, yeah, that is dumb. Just put it on there.
It
Just
like,
put
why?
it on there.
come on, guys.
I have a crack theory for the sacred arts. Literally would not fit in the text box.
There's no way. It 100% it would have fit. Let me look at this.
It would have. It's just funny.
100% it would have fit.
Yeah. But it's like you're so right. I also have a different tangent about Rosetta, which I'm gonna try and not go fully off on because this is a thing I realized when I was like,
let's get through Super Slam.
Yeah.
But my thing is, so I'm looking at the spoiler, and all of these revered brute actions, right?
Yeah.
These could all just be brute cards, or they could all be revered cards, or they could all be tough nut specializations. Like I'm looking at like Old Leather and Vim could just be a brute card.
Yeah.
It could just yeah. Yeah. That's where I'm at with it's like these don't or like Wind Up the Crowd could just be a brute card. There's no reason for it to not be. Other than they only want Tough Nut to play it.
I also think they did something like kind of weird and fucky, which so in heavy hitters, each class had 2 auras they had access to. So like Brute had might and agility, Guardian had might and vigor, and then Warrior had vigor and agility.
Right.
And the thing that I'm like, that's kind of weird is that in this set, they made vigor a brute one again.
Right.
Which is like, what?
Yeah.
So now Brute just access to all of them.
Yeah, they've made it to where like Revered gets toughness and vigor, and Reviled gets mights. Well, everybody gets vigor. Everybody gets vigor now.
Revered gets toughness.
Reviled gets
Brute
might.
Gets vigor. Reviled gets might, and then Guardian gets confidence. Is the way they set it up in this set.
I just like, I really now that we're talking about it and I'm thinking about it, this is Magic Brain game design, and I don't think it needs to be in the game. Where it's like, this is something that a Magic set would do, where they'd be like, well, green gets trample and white gets lifelink. And we don't need, like, I don't think that we need that in this game.
I don't think you're wrong, but that is also like, that is also a staple of the game in some sense of like building sets around different ideas where different classes get X.
Right, but I think that specifically in regards to like these tokens, just give them to all of the deathmatch heroes.
Yeah.
Just make, and that can be like one of your like core mechanics. That is one of your core mechanics of like this setting, but just give them to everybody. Like I don't care. Like there's nothing about say any of these that especially makes me think of a specific class or hero.
No.
So just get rid of it. Just give it to everybody, and like maybe give it to people in different amounts, but just give them all to everybody.
Yeah.
I just there's so much going back to what we were talking about. There's so much like needless siloing of mechanics and cards. And like the constant churn of like new set, new mechanics, new heroes. There's a ton of like the pool is very wide. There's like 40 heroes in CC now. But like what actually like has room for deck building and exploration?
Yeah, and that's really the thing that keeps happening is that like you can build these heroes in like interesting ways. Like before the set dropped, I think I texted Pat, and I don't think he ever got back to me, where I was like, it's pissing me off that no one is trying to build an aggressive tough nut, so I did it.
Right.
Because I was like, I don't think...
The deck had 6 cards in it.
Yeah, it's fucked up like that. Or I was like, I don't think that the only way to build him is to throw every single blue into a deck
Right.
and then just block 9 swing rock.
Right.
I was like, that's a perfectly fine game plan, and I don't think it's all he can do. So I built a really shitty tough nut deck before anything came out for him, basically. uh,
Right.
but like, yeah, there's really only one way to build Pleiades correctly. Like, there's gonna be a best Pleiades deck, and then that's just that.
Right.
Or
It's yeah, you're gonna figure out like I'm gonna throw in all of the majestics that my hero like that are my hero's like silo, and then like some number of like I'm gonna play like some number of generic defense reactions. I'm gonna play all the like command and conquer and E-strike, and I'm gonna call it a day.
yeah,
You know, like I'll just play all of the good cards that like my hero was designed to play. And
Yeah.
that's uh I used to really hate. So I used to play a lot of like card fight Vanguard, and Vanguard would be the same way where the clan that you played would get their new wave of support, and you would play all of the majestics and rare like level cards that came in the new set. You would get all of those. You would take out the old bad cards, put the new good cards in, and that was your deck building done 100%.
yeah,
And I really don't like that, and I feel like more and more, because like there is so much constant expansion of the game with every set, we're getting less and less room to experiment and like find new and novel like ways to build decks. And it's more like, here is Pleiades. There is a correct 80 card Pleiades list. We know what it is. It's in here, but we're not going to tell you what it is.
yeah, and I think that part of that issue is all of the siloing of like they're. I want them to expand on more of the ideas, like uh, it, Pat started talking about this with me the other day, and he did not get to finish his sentence because he apparently had a very full weekend. But I started to get the gist of it, which is that like it's it's the problem I have with Assassin right now, where it's like, okay, we've introduced this idea of like, or like, oh, we have like a contract, and then we're not touching it again.
Right.
And for like through, in his eyes through like Reiner, it's like a similar thing of like, okay, yeah, we're not playing around with like 6 power discards anymore. It's a keyword isn't being left behind, but a mechanic is being left behind.
Right.
Because they don't want to expand on the design space for that, and therefore increase the amount of experimentation that you can do with it.
Right.
And that's an annoying problem to have, because one of my favorite things to do, just as a thing I do, is I love to try and just make fatigue decks and just try and see if I can make it work, because
Right.
fatigue is the main way I like playing this game. It's a lot of fun for me. And at some point it's like, why am I doing this? Why am I trying to build a fatigue guardian when there's like 30 other infinitely better ways to build a
Right.
guardian now?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because there's like there's an intended way to play heroes, and like I'm looking at Lyeth right now, and like Lyeth and like KO and even Tough Nut and Pleiades, like these new heroes have like all this text on them that really like pushes you towards do the thing we designed these heroes to do.
Yeah.
And like I guess someone's gonna like jump in my comments and be like, well, that's the whole point of a hero. But I think that there is something to be said for like a hero whose ability like is a little bit more open-ended than just you want to like, I don't know, you want to get to 3 Draconic Chain Links and get the Phoenix Flame back.
That's actually a great thought that I've been having for a little while and struggling to put into words. And I think you talking about this starting to give me something about it. Hero abilities are less flexible now than they used to be,
Right.
by and large. Like Bravo's hero ability is like action pay 2 until end of turn. Your attack action cards with cost 0 or greater gain dominate, and then that has go again.
Right.
That's like weirdly enough a really open-ended ability because like how many cards in the game cost 3 or more? Like
Right.
there's a lot. There's a lot of ways you can build a Bravo. How many auras of suspense are there that are worth running?
I mean,
Or
I think that you literally have to play all the. I mean, I say all the good ones, but there aren't even that many. You know?
No, there's like 10 maybe. Hang on, let me find out.
I'm also typing it into the search bar.
Suspense.
I mean,
So, that's more than I thought there were gonna be, but still, like
a lot of those are from the Armory deck, though. Is the thing.
yeah, several of them are from the Armory deck, and then like a couple of those that aren't are really only helpful limited.
Right.
Like
there's the one that taps a brute.
there's the one that removes the Guardian aura.
Yeah.
It's like okay, so
Well, it's like you play like and I am actually like really looking forward to like playing around with Pleiades because Kirksey is finally like this is the hero that I would play. But like you play your in the palm of your hands, you play your active glories, and your edge of their seats. You play all of the buffs basically. So that's 12.
I would run Superstar, and
I think you could run Superstar and Dramatic Pause.
I think Up on a Pedestal is good.
Let's see, which one is that? Where's Up on it? Yeah, you play Up on a Pedestal to like get your stuff back, and that's
Maybe what happens next to help your resource curve, but like
maybe I think that would be the first one I would cut if I needed to cut them.
I'd probably cut Dramatic Pause first, honestly.
Maybe.
At least in this metagame.
Yeah. But yeah, so like there you go. Honestly, yeah. And like there we go. We've figured it out. And you play like all of her like big payoff attacks, and then you just put Guardian shit in there.
Yeah.
And you ride, I don't know, you ride confidence tokens to a win. And she in no way does Pleiades interact with anything in Mastery Pack Guardian.
No. Because why would she? Like,
yeah.
They're different sets. Why would you ever mix them in a card game?
Exactly. But yeah, man, I want to rant for a little bit about how the revered cards and the reviled cards are from completely different art like worlds.
Okay.
And I totally understand. That like you're trying to illustrate the difference in the talents. I get it. I do have that base level of media literacy. But the reviled cards are so much more fun than the revered cards. The revered cards look like something from Solana.
Yeah.
And
it's actually not to interrupt your rant right when you're getting started, but it looks so much like Solana that a person in the card shop from Illinois that I'm still part of the server for straight up like texted me and was like, okay, so why are these heroes not light and shadow?
Exactly. Heroic Pose literally looks like a card from Dusk Till Dawn.
Hang on, I need to find that.
Almost down.
Is it? Did I miss it? Where the fuck is it? Yeah.
Like it's entirely because of these color palettes, and this was supposed to be like kind of a wacky professional wrestling set, and only the reviled cards like give that vibe.
Yeah, like I really want everything to be like much more like neon and bright, honestly. Like,
Exactly. And you can do that with just like the color palettes really.
yeah,
Uh
fully agree.
but the revered cards are just so they're so like washed out and like they have so little texture.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's some of my least favorite art, honestly.
the only reason they don't straight up look like they're from Solana is because Flesh and Blood is very good internally at like at keeping their culture straight. So
Right.
like fun little detail, you can always tell where armor is from or where like a weapon was built, and
Right.
I think that's fun. And these don't look in the traditional Solanian style, but they are drawing from it because Solana is colonizing the Savage Lands right now.
Right. And also, like that's a way more interesting. Do that set.
Yeah,
Do
no,
do that set.
I really want to see Light versus the Savage Lands talent. I think that would be really interesting.
Right. I agree. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, I hate the clash of the art styles in this set because I look at the reviled cards and they're so good.
They look
Yeah.
so much like the themes of the set. They look like big ass WWE cards.
And then you
And then
with like the occasional like really fucked up like sadistic scowl is just spooky. It's just scary.
I need to find that. I'm running through so badly. Um, is that the? I have no idea where the fuck that is, and I'm not able to find it.
It's
Oops.
between cheap shot and arrogant showboating.
I see. Yes, that card is fucking horrifying. I
I
love it.
know, but like the reviled cards tell a much better story of
They really do.
like Lyeth Goldmane as this like fucking sadistic Vince McMahon figure, just like ruining matches and fixing them like on a whim.
Yeah.
Uh, I love it, and like KO like some of these cards like you have low blow or like take that where it's like yeah it's wacky it's pro wrestling, and then you like as anyone will tell you pro wrestling has like a terrible dark side. You've got like where is it like cheap shot where they're just gouging someone's eyes out.
Yeah.
You know, I love that. But
I think it's
all of
fun.
the revered cards are it's a lot of muscles. It's a lot of big iconic hero shots in bright sunlight, and they all look very samey and washed out.
They really do. It's really not nearly as striking, which is a shame. Uh,
They could have like they should have really leaned into comic book inspired art for revered. I think.
Fully agreed. Like, I mean, even just like color language, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like to like contrast all the like pinks and purples and dark colors, I feel like they could have done like neon greens and shit.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Um, or like looking at like there's turn the crowd grateful in revered.
Yeah,
Um,
and turn the crowd hateful.
and turn the crowd hateful is some of my favorite art in this game. The colors, the shadow, the posing, it's so good. Uh, Cruel Ambition is like incredible. There's just some really great art in Reviled, and I hate that it like half the set is taken up by the revered art.
I
Not
also
that,
want to be so clear. I don't think it's the artist's fault, and I
yeah,
also don't think that the art looks bad. It just it it's clear that LSS had a much more unique idea for the reviled cards and the reviled vibes than they did for the revered one,
yes,
which is a shame.
I agree. I was about to say the exact same thing. I don't want to dog any artist because I do think that a lot of the revered art. I think the problem is just with the color direction.
Yeah,
Ultimately,
I think the revered art looks really good. Like, I also don't think it looks unique. I don't think any of
right?
the revealed cards particularly stand out. And one of the things that's hard in a card game is when you can't tell one card from another at a glance. Like
Right.
that's rough.
Yeah, I agree. Like I'm looking at Revered again, and like it's just a lot of it's just like washed out and just not very dynamic. Like good natured
Yeah.
brutality should like this is a very dynamic composition. It should really be leaping off like the card at me, and it just seems very flat.
I mean, even
Yeah.
if we just want to compare like Comeback Kid and Mocking Blows are like cards that are like paired. They're meant to
Hmm.
like represent two different like the same aspect of different talents. Like
Right. Right.
the like Comeback Kid is like being the underdog, whereas like Mocking Blow is being like the what's it called, the heel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mocking Blow is so much more just interesting and fun at a
I know.
glance.
I know. There's
Uh,
where is it? Somebody won on camera with it. Where is it? It's a I think it's called Hidden Object is the card.
yes,
That is
yes, I
I
love it.
love that card. That is some great design.
I love it. I was it you who someone in the server said, "Why is this not just an attack reaction?" Uh, and I don't remember who it was.
That was
I
not
think
me.
someone I know was bitching about it, and I don't remember who. But I loved it. I mean, I
Yeah.
especially love like the little like comic book dots in like the
Yeah.
corners. It it looks so good, and I wish more of the set looked like it.
I know. And
Just
also the reason it's not attack reaction is because it's because of Ludo narrative. It's
exactly.
all about the Ludo narrative.
It it's the thing. It's the thing we were just talking about of like when you're making anything for any game, it's not
Hmm.
enough to think about how it plays, but also how it feels.
Exactly.
And putting an item in the game at instant speed and then using it feels a lot more like cheating than playing an attack reaction. Uh,
Yeah, exactly. It's you know that to all the people who to all the haters in the Discord about that card, you know how when you load an arrow with a bow into your arsenal and you're like, "Wow, that's really satisfying like feeling?" It's that. That's what they're going for.
yes,
That's what we're
exactly.
yeah. It's the
No, like
same thing.
that was actually one of the things that sold me on the game because I got into this game like right around when Tales of Aria dropped because my local game store got Tales of Aria and it was their
Hmm.
first time getting the game, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to try a new card game." So I bought the Oldham precon, the Briar precon, and the Lexi precon,
Right.
and roped my little brothers into playing with me. And the first thing that like hit us all, even though I'm the only one like who's like stuck with the game,
Right.
is the way that Lexi as a ranger had to like load her cards with a bow was so cool. uh,
Yeah,
we thought that was the coolest fucking thing ever.
I know. It's such. I think that I still think to this day that that is like their peak of game design. Like that is
It is
yeah.
it's one of the most thematic things in the game, and I love it. I My favorite thing in any game, no matter what it is when the mechanics and the themes really just they work so
Hmm.
well in tandem.
Right.
Uh, like I absolutely adore it. Like the fact that Uzuri's like in universe power is that she can
Hmm.
like change any weapon into any other weapon. Like
Right.
one thing she does in a fight is she like blocks a sword with a dagger, then changes her dagger into a sword and cuts the guy's head off.
So sick.
Her her ability makes me feel like I'm doing that, and it's
Right.
so much fun.
Right.
Uh,
That gives like one of my favorite things in Star Wars fiction is when people manipulate turning the lightsaber on and off.
yes,
That gives the same vibe. That's all I got to say.
the this is hang on, I need to find it.
Hmm.
That this is not this is a tangent of a tangent.
Okay.
There is a documentary that's just like a bonus extra on Star Wars: The Phantom Menace
Mhm.
about how they made it, and
Right.
it's like an hour long, and it was just an extra that comes with the movie.
Right.
I should also say I've not seen the movie.
You haven't
uh,
seen Phantom Menace? Yo, 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 pause. Pause. Stop. Stop. You have never seen Phantom Menace?
if I have, I don't remember it.
Have you seen Star Wars at all?
I have seen some of the really shitty sequels that everyone bitches about with like Ray and everything.
I think you should go watch OG Star Wars. I think you and Tori need to go do that.
I've seen the first 3 chronologically released. I just barely remember them because I didn't enjoy them that much.
In fairness, I think you're right, and I think I should see it. I also think that I'm really bad at watching things because I have too many things on my watch list.
All of that's very fair. That's very fair.
I'm
think
also I cannot watch movies. I'm terrible.
is it just like a like an attention like thing? I don't want to say ADD, but like an ADD
I
thing.
do have ADHD like diagnosed, and yeah, I just can't. I'm bad at focusing, and so I'll be like, "Ooh, what's going on my phone?" and then log back in 30 minutes later and not know what the hell's going on.
That's fair.
Anyway, there's this really good documentary that was like just a film extra where it goes through the entire process of creating Star Wars 2, like
Right.
all of the filming, all of the acting. And it is really good because not only do you get to see a bunch of some of the most talented and creative people in the world all working together at like the height of their craft,
Right.
but also you get to see what I can only describe as a full 5-act tragedy play live in front of you because they filmed like every aspect of it, so you see every single part of it as it falls apart, and they have to scramble at the last minute to fix it and try to make it even remotely salvageable.
I look. Viewers, if you're interested in my thoughts on Star Wars, good thing to know. My movie podcast, the completely original movie podcast, will be doing a Star Wars spectacular 3-parter that will be released in the next few weeks. So go check out the completely original movie podcast, available wherever you can find movies, because we're doing mega episodes on it. Anyway,
Nice.
yeah, I would love that, but for like card game sets.
Yeah, that's actually one thing I've really been enjoying. I don't know how many of the Flesh and Blood articles you read. My new favorite thing they do is the Dev Touch series, which is where a real ass developer at LSS just talks about the development process for different cards. It is my absolute favorite.
I did always.
They
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, like they've talked about Leave No Witnesses and the ways that like the lore and mechanics of the game intersected with like how they wanted the game to play. They walked through the entire process of developing Mario and KO, but the KO article is bad.
Why
It's
is it?
not a good article.
Oh, now I have to. Why is it a bad article?
The simple version is that they the simple version is that they start going really in depth, and then you can tell someone in the room said, "Hey, you can't post our entire development process online," so they had to cut it down to shit, and so it just
Okay.
it cuts at certain places of like, oh yeah, we reduced KO's life totals to like kind of push him into being more aggressive. Anyway, we decided we don't have to do that for a reason we can't tell you about.
Okay. I
for
see.
a reason we don't explain. And so it builds up this entire narrative structure about the way that the card was designed, and then they just drop it because someone was like, "Hey, you can't publish that."
I see. That's lame. Understandable,
Yeah,
but lame. But
no, I get it, but it's just like, damn, that's unfortunate.
I need to go. I
Um,
need to go read those articles because I did always love when I played Magic and like back when Magic cared, back before everyone was there just collecting a paycheck. Like they would do like basically yearly roundups, and you would get these really cool insights into like how they thought a set was going to play out or how they thought a mechanic was going to work versus the reality of it. Um, and they were always like very like unbiased, like we thought that this set was gonna be received this way, and actually it was received this other way. What we learned about that was X, Y, and Z.
yeah,
So I'm always interested in that. Um, but yeah, I think that we both agree, kind of like getting back to our central topic, like I don't think that Revered and Reviled needed to be done this way as talents. And I think that the art direction for Reviled, I feel like you can tell that the set started with Reviled,
yeah,
and then had to flesh it out.
yeah. Um,
But
I also
yeah,
I
go
said
ahead.
this in a different server.
Mm-hmm.
This is not related. This is just like a very small tangent.
Mm-hmm.
The Maori. I don't remember how to pronounce it.
Maori.
The Maori Pleiades really makes me wish that they just straight up made Pleiades Maori. I
Yeah,
think that would make her much more interesting than generic white girl. Well, I think they wrote somewhere as like 130 pounds or something, which is what?
I nah dog. Nah, nah, maybe
Nah.
nah. Maybe let me look at her. I need to see her regular card art. No, nah, dog, nah. Maybe in her young art.
140 pounds. There we go.
No.
No, that
Oh
No, she's
no,
that's not how
yeah.
people work. Look at that. Muscle weighs 4 times more than fat. Look at the shit she has to lug around.
I hold on. I need to see I have the armory deck pulled up somewhere. Hold on, because I need to see more. I need to see more like angles. As someone who's way too into fitness and physiques, nah, dog. She would be way buffer if she was 140, 130 pounds. Like
Yeah, like
she would be, and like it's kind of hard to tell in her hero art, but like
yeah,
the art for like her chest piece from the armory deck and like her arm piece, like and like all of her armor from the armory deck, she would be much more muscular. Like
yeah,
a
like
140 pound, like 140, 145 pound warrior woman would look like Korra.
yeah. The thing that's getting me is like I'm looking at Standing Ovation. She's
Mm-hmm.
wielding this big ass fucking battle axe like it's a golf club, and it's just like
Right.
there's no way.
140 is obscenely low for the woman they drew, and also both are obscenely low for a woman who does the shit they want her to do.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask this: do we have a height? She's
Five
not,
foot ten.
blah, bro. um.
She's not
Okay.
140.
Okay. So it is entirely possible that a 5'10" woman could have this physique. However, what I take issue with is I don't think that a 5'10" woman doing the things that Pleiades is doing would look like this.
No.
She should be way more jacked.
Yeah.
Cause like it's totally possible. Like a 5'10" also is like a little tall. That's a little.
Yeah.
But like there are
All
yeah.
all of the weights seem a little fucked because they gave everyone like canon weights and heights
That's
in
a
like the
mistake.
spoiler season. So Lyeth is 4'5" and weighs 110 pounds.
No, he doesn't.
No, maybe.
Uh, Tough Nut is 9 feet and over 1,000 pounds.
That's dumb. That's not how people work. He's not a fucking space marine.
KO is 5'9" and 210 pounds, meaning Pleiades is taller than him.
Mate, I don't think that KO's that short, but like that's he's what, 210?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
the most reasonable.
Okay, well to be fair, he's missing an arm. If he had both arms,
This
that
is
would
true.
so like a 5'8", 5'9" guy, but with like KO's physique would be like 225, maybe 240.
Yeah.
So missing an arm, that's closer. And then Lath is what, like 4'10" and 100 and something
4'10".
pounds? He's like 110
4'10",
pounds?
110 pounds.
Maybe?
Or 4'5", I think.
He was 4'5".
Yeah, he's 4'5" and 110 pounds.
I'm taller than him.
I think the point is that everyone's taller than him.
This is true.
I'm not taller than many. This is exciting to me.
That's fair. That's a fair point. But yeah, a 5'10", 140 pounds is like reasonable. Like that is a physique that can exist, but
Not for a warrior.
yeah, because you're more familiar. Is Pleiades is a combatant? She's in there tearing it up, right?
Yeah, no, she's. That's the thing, is this is still the deathmatch arena, and every single one of these fights is still to the death. They're just marketing it WWE style in
Right.
universe.
Yeah, but like she is a
So
competitor.
Pleiades-
She is a competitor.
she's-
She's not just the music.
Yeah, she's fighting, winning, and killing, just like straight up, like she does murder on the regular.
Yeah, she should be way more jacked.
And they're cowards because she would be hotter if she was jacked.
Yeah.
For the record.
Yeah, like now that
We
we're
don't
talking,
even like women.
I don't even like women, but I know this is a fact.
Yeah.
Jacked woman hot.
everybody likes, and like I will give them credit, and I have always given Flesh and Blood credit. Flesh and Blood has never been the Gooner card game.
Yeah.
So like I will give them credit that like if a lesser game with lesser art direction and discipline would have been like, we're gonna do the blonde girl musician rock star, and they would have done a lot more exploitative art for her. That being said, I'm looking it up on a pedestal, and the sheer lack of definition for her is like very grating.
I'm looking at Cries of Encore and realizing that she killed that dragon.
I guess magic. I guess magic.
I mean, yeah, probably. We don't have any of the lore documents from this set yet, but it seems like what they're setting up is they're trying to show off that Ataya is like an Aesir of the deathmatch arena.
Okay. That seems like an odd thing to be an Aesir of, but what do I know?
Who knows, man? The Aesir are weird and fucky.
That's fair. That's fair. I just like I hate. Don't be specifically the deathmatch arena. Be like an Aesir of like, I don't know, violence. Be Korn from Warhammer 40,000. But
I assume it's an Aesir of something else. I'm using the deathmatch arena as like a location indicator.
I'm gonna be real. I thought you were gonna stop at be the Aesir of corn. I was like, fuck yeah, man.
Like
Just be grain now.
bow
Like-
bow wow. It's Korn, but it's the band.
like I could say that like Fiendal is like the Aesir of the Savage Lands, and that wouldn't be wrong, but it'd be more accurate to say she's like the Aesir of life and shit like that.
Right.
We don't know what Ataya's deal is yet, but with Revered and Reviled, like fair play and competition probably have something to do with it. Maybe like combat conceptually. I don't fucking know, man. We'll find out.
I'm ruining my Google algorithm because I'm trying to like I don't think this is a realistic depiction of what Pleiades should be, guys.
No. Unfortunately not.
Let's see. How tall is Amanda Nunes? 5'8"? Yeah, nah, dog. I'm sorry.
I also have to go in like 15 minutes, so if there's anything else you want to talk about while I'm here, we should probably do it.
I'm just yeah. Anyway,
Unfortunately, I do have class tomorrow.
that's fair. I will say I do really love the Maori Marvel. I think
Yeah.
it's like the first Marvel that I might just outright buy.
You're so real for that. It looks incredible.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I would like more of this, please. I
Yeah.
do have a request from chat. You have to talk about the fatigue pony.
What?
You have to talk about fatigue pony. I believe that's
What is
Victor.
fatigue?
I think that's Victor.
What the fuck is what?
I-
What is fatigue pony?
Game Master at all said to get you to talk about fatigue pony.
Okay, so I think that is Austin, who was like a 14-year-old at my local shop in Illinois, like the one I came from,
Okay.
who I've been helping recently. Um, he DM'd me
It
like,
is. They have confirmed
like
it in chat.
like an hour ago
Mhm.
and was like, "Hey, you should help me make Fatigue Victor." To which I have to say, "Listen, mate, I got class and shit. If
And
I
a job.
Yeah, I got class and a job, and I run the D&D club at my college, and also I do game design shit. Uh, I got shit to do all the time. If I got time, I can help you,
So-
but otherwise,
So
I've
what I'm
told you
hearing, what I'm hearing is that you're free tomorrow.
I'm actually rather explicitly not. I'm gonna be in Oxford until like 11.
Yeah, so you'll be free after that. Okay.
No. After that, I have to go to bed because I have class on Tuesday.
We're gonna get
also.
so much good conversation in tomorrow. While you're gone from 9 to 11.
I have to run a session tomorrow.
Whose fault is
Oh
that?
my god, that's
Mine.
funny. Austin just put a smiley, a frowny face. But
He's. I was gonna say he's a big boy. He can handle it, but he's like 14. He's not.
yeah, that's why you gotta help. All of, real
Heck,
but-
perfect, and leave again. Also the daily grind. Have fun, buddy.
Yeah. You play all of the cards that say Clash, and you just like never lose a Clash because you're a Guardian, and eventually they either run out of cards or you punch them to death.
Yep.
Simply never lose.
Simply never lose.
Real quick, I do have one actual question for you, Joe.
Okay.
Take the bait, yes or no?
I love that card so much.
Correct answer. That card's incredible.
The real thing I love about it, and I've been trying to think, Take the Bait has reinvigorated my love for specializations in the game.
Mhm.
Like, Take the Bait is what's made me go, I think there should be more specializations in Flesh and Blood again, because that card is just phenomenal. It Blood follows Blade, like, they're absolutely incredible. And really showcase what a specialization can be. Because Take the Bait is not only perfect for like every Fatigue Riptide, which is to say every Riptide I enjoy playing, but also for like Sandscour Riptide. I know Dez was like hyped about it. It's so good, and it has started making me like start theory crafting and thinking about like, what are other specialization cards they could do that would be interesting?
Not this max specialization, that's for sure.
Yeah, the problem with Max. Okay, I think about underpowered heroes a lot because it's a fun little exercise to think. Okay, what kind of design would make you not only good but balanced and fun? And the thing I want to see from Max, it's cards that care about how many hyperdrivers you have. And
Right.
that sounds like it should be such a fucking simple thing to do.
Right.
But like it's like the same thing that I think Phi needs, because Phi has like Phoenix form, and that's like the
Right.
one card that cares about how many Phoenix flames you have. And it has a really high ceiling. Unfortunately, you're never gonna see that ceiling except for maybe like once. You will see
Right.
it one time in your entire lifespan,
Yeah.
lose your shit, and then never reach that high again.
Well, they were like,
Um,
they're like, Max is the hyperdriver hero. You know what card is like worth playing hyperdrivers for? It's Nitromechanoid. And then they banned High Octane, and they were like, yeah, get wrecked, nerd. You can't do that now.
yeah, like I would love to see cards that are like, if you control one hyperdriver, X. If you control two hyperdrivers, like one I dropped the other day, and like the other server I'm in is like 0 for 3 card with, if you control one hyperdriver, this gains boost. If you
Right.
control 2, this gains like +1 or +2, and if you control 3, this gains, when this hits, draw 2 cards.
Right. Right. Yeah. Just
I think
literally
that would be a
any-
really fun majestic.
Yeah, I agree. He just needs payoff. Like, you need a reason to do the thing, and he doesn't have one.
Yeah, like I right now the 3 payoffs to having a lot of hyperdrivers include 1, Moonshot, which causes you to kill all of your momentum
Yeah, Moonshot is
in
like
order to get.
a notoriously terrible card.
Yeah, and most max lists are playing it right now because there's not much better.
Yeah.
Nitromechanoid, which kills all your hyperdrivers,
Right.
and Bankbreaker, which kills all your hyperdrivers for even less.
I know. I thought the wrench stuff was so cool, but it's just unplayable.
Yeah, it's really not worth it.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
it's like, and also like they do the same thing with Bolton, where like, I don't need more payoff for having cards in my soul. You already gave me Beacon of Victory, Celestial Cataclysm, and Lumina, which is like all the payoff that I need. I need to like not hate myself for charging cards. Like,
yeah, like one thing I really want to see is I want to see more cards that like charge off the top of the deck.
right.
Because they printed like one, and I don't remember what the fuck it's called right now.
Are you hold on? Are you thinking of the not the Figment, but the Fable?
No, it's a card that reveal the top card of your deck. I think if it's a yellow, add it to your hand and then charge or something like that, and it's a majestic.
Is it Warband?
Yes.
No, it's a
It's
Prayer of Bologna. Yes.
I love that card, and I really wish it didn't cost 1, because
So I do too. Key point: Prayer of Bologna doesn't charge off the top of your deck. You get the card in your hand, and then you charge it, which is a stupid, silly distinction.
It is.
It's because they didn't want Bolton to play Light of Soul.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Which is so irritating.
Sorry, this is leading not to go back to a topic we jumped off of.
Right.
That's another thing that annoyed me about part of the Mist Veil.
Mm-hmm.
Mystic should have high cost cards if it's going to have the best resource base in the game.
Well, the limited cards cost a pretty penny.
This is true.
But yes, I agree. I agree. I think you're right. But the problem then is they want you to like pitch a chi so you can do like 3 things. So you can like pitch a chi to play your attack reaction, and because you pitched a chi, you get another attack reaction. So you just play it, and then you have a resource left over, so you can Levels of Enlightenment.
Yeah.
What you thought High Tide was going to go into the Mystic talent? Nah, dog.
Nah, man. Pirate.
I
Give,
do.
give
I
us
do
the
like
Mystic
high
Pirate.
tide.
Nothing bad will happen. Except for everything bad that will happen.
Everything bad will happen. Man, I remember. I randomly look at cards as I think of them. I remember when Conqueror of the High Seas was $80, and now you can pick it up for 11.
Nice.
Maybe Gravy is cheap enough to build for ProQuest season. IDK. I'm probably just going to keep playing Florian and probably going to get my shit kicked in.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That is so real.
Anyway, I know you got to go. I think this has been a really fun chat.
I agree.
I appreciate you logging in, hanging
Of
out.
course. If you ever
yeah.
want me on again, I am available sometimes.
Of course. I'm sure you'll be back. But I think that this is as good a point as any to call it. I've got to walk a dog and get some dinner, and you've got it's what 12 midnight almost for you.
We
also have to take our dog.
It's 11:41, and I have to get up at 8 tomorrow because I have a class, and I live like an hour away from my college. So,
well, I wish you both a wonderful evening, and I hope your week gets off to a good start. I'm sure we'll have you back, and if anybody out there is wondering, the next stream will be Tuesday night. We're gonna go live, and we're probably gonna build Pleiades if the cards get coded on Talishar.
Nice. Yeah. Austin has been bitching all week. He's like, I want to play Pleiades, and yet they won't let me.
The main developer for Talishar was in Montreal this weekend, so
that'll do it.
I don't begrudge them at all.
Yeah. The only thing I know about the development of Talishar is that Grant once told me, and I'm going to paraphrase the thing he says so that it's kinder, and said something along the lines of, Talishar is held together by spaghetti code and duct tape.
And he posted that in a public forum and was rightly berated and criticized for it. As if all code and all applications are not held together by spaghetti code.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, you have a good one.
You too. You guys have a great night. Thanks for chatting.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful night, man.
Love and miss you both. Later.
See you.